All right. Welcome. Welcome, Katie Gray, back.
Thanks, Kurt. Welcome to you.
Yes. And welcome everyone who will momentarily be tuning in. We're just getting started here. This is episode 5 of Sacred Sundays. Connection and gratitude is what we're going to be investigating today. Katie and I will talk about what that means for us. And then, as always, this is an open forum, this is an open discussion, and we always encourage any questions. All you have to do is leave a comment. If you're on Facebook, just leave a comment below. If you're on YouTube, same thing. We'll be able to see them over here, and then we'll talk about it. We'll do our best to address every one of those if we possibly can.
Mm.
So, yes, welcome. This My intention, my personal intention behind the Sacred Sundays is all about a space for reconnection, redirection, as well as a personal reset in as I observe the world and just also places within myself. It just becomes apparent that I think it's a beautiful thing when we can come together and connect in different ways because we're getting more and more distracted as the world gets busier and more shiny things and distractions come our way. And so I am hoping that this is a space for us to do that, a space for us to connect together. So again, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And I'm excited to see where our conversation goes. Katie, hello again.
Kurt,
How are you
hello, good
feeling? How
morning.
are you feeling this morning?
I feel good. I feel better than I did yesterday. I woke up so tired yesterday
Hmm.
and was kind of pushing through the day. And today I feel well rested and did my morning workout and feel had some. I really appreciate that sunshine time. You
Mm.
know, Kurt and I sit, even if it's just for 5 minutes, we sit in the sun and just sit with the animals and the stillness. And we never bring our phones to do the morning ranch chores. We just go in and spend time with the animals and the plants. And that feels good,
Right.
even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. And that is a reset. So we've
It
had kind of
truly is.
a slower morning. I think for a lot of us, where we get up to alarm clock and we're rushing, and that creates the tempo for the whole day.
Hmm.
Um, and it's nice to have a slower start but still feel engaged and productive, you know?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree. And even something like this, we were talking like showing up for this, yet it could seem like, oh, another thing that we have to do. But at the same time, it's we're discussing sacred things and we're discussing something that is heart opening. And I think it's a great way to show up, I think, on a Sunday, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we, for all of us who tune in, like sometimes we need it.
Hmm.
We need support. We need to know we're not alone. We need a real conversation to be a part of, that gives
Yeah.
us permission. I think anytime, we're in the presence of something authentic, that's courageously authentic, and emotive and honest, it gives each of us permission to be more honest and emotive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we need in this world more honesty, more authenticity,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I'm interested, I'm curious where we're going to go today because I know what you and I have been talking a lot about lately. And just last week, you were saying, let's talk about connection.
Hmm.
And I think every conversation is some form of connection, you know? Every time we get together, we unite our voices and our eyes and our feelings and our presence. There is connection experienced. Um, but lately, you know, I've just been really feeling, mm, well, the need for connection is something I started to understand in my own recovery from addiction. But I've been really sitting with that recently, which witnessing some people going through serious addiction recovery or a debilitating illness.
Hmm.
Um, and, just recognizing, wow, can we do it alone? I don't know. I think we really do need one another, you know?
I agree.
It's
Well, not
so,
yeah. Not only that, it's, we read this statistic recently that I think loneliness is now one of the number one killers
Yeah.
on the planet. Like people being isolated and feeling alone outside of community, which means outside of a connection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and so
Yeah.
yeah, I think connection is so important. Not only a human to human connection, but also connection to the plants, connection to the animals, connection to our planet, connection to a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning and being. There's so many levels and octaves of what connection means, and it's so easy to get lost. So
Yeah. Like as you were saying that, I was thinking of if you think of it like the creative life force, like of the sun, of the divine, of the universe, this pulsating creative life force energy, which, one way to look at that is consciousness. If you have something that's not alive and then you bring spirit and life force into that, it wakes up. It's conscious.
right,
And so I think of this consciousness being this almost like this light fluid that circulates through all living beings, all life, and it's life force energy. And when we feel disconnected, which often happens through unresolved trauma, through trauma, something happens, we get ostracized, we don't feel like we belong in our families, what's happening culturally, we just feel separate.
right,
And we get broken up with by a lover, whatever it is, we get disconnected. And then that disconnection separates us from somehow I think might have mentioned it last week. I don't know if it was here in a meetup group, one of my subscription meetup groups, but you cut off circulation, and the circulation gets cut off, and it, and for a lot of us, we are energetically the circulation of our relationship to that mycelial life force pulsating energy is disconnected, and we feel alone.
hmm,
And maybe that's a way to look at that statistic of loneliness, meaning that we can't survive without connection. We
right,
get cut off and we lose our relationship to the creative life force, to the life force, the pulsating life, and we start to die, you know?
totally,
And it can show up in different facets, different ways, different expressions, but we need to be engaged. And it doesn't necessarily mean strictly with humans, but like you said, with plants, with animals, with life force energy, we have to be connected to the pulsating life force energy of the universe,
right.
you know?
So how do we do that? So this is a good entry point for
Yeah,
others. Let's talk about connection,
yeah,
connecting it to the other part of our theme today, gratitude. Gratitude is a way to connect, I would say.
yeah,
And you and I play a game sometimes, Katie. We're just like, what are you grateful for? Like,
yeah,
because it's so easy for us to just get off. We get up, we get moving. We're like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, and then we just skip that part,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then when really, gratitude and gratefulness brings us to center, brings us to the now, and gives us an opportunity to open our hearts and express what it is we truly are grateful for. I attempt to do it every morning with like I'm grateful for the air, clean air to breathe, a roof over our heads.
mhm,
Um, even the things we take for granted. Being able to speak, being able to communicate, being able to be here and connect with one another. I'm so grateful for that because you never know what could happen and
yeah,
suddenly you're not able to do that.
yeah,
And so it's like coming to a place of finding that gratitude. And I'll admit I don't do it enough. It's like, and so I'm trying to like make a practice of it, and it's something I wanted to talk about today.
yeah. I see we have some comments we should check out here. One thing
Yeah.
to add on to what you were saying to tie that together is that and this could be a longer conversation, this could be an entire book, but just the frequency of what is gratitude.
Hmm.
And to me, gratitude, if you were look at the polarity of the universe, these two polar forces, you could say darkness and light, you could say love, and you could say fear and love. You could look at these as these polar forces, um, the pulling us up or squashing us down. I feel filled with light, I feel heavy and dark. And to me, gratitude is falls into the category of love. And
Right.
love is the opening. Again, if you were to look at these polar differences, the opening or the closing of the heart. Love opens us, it expands us. Fear closes us and shuts us down. Well, looking at that channel that keeps us tethered to all life, if our hearts close, that's where that suffocation and that disconnection happens, where we
Right.
lose our relationship to the all. And so it really is this courageous act of opening up. And one way to open that channel of the heart to reconnect with the life force energy is through gratitude. It's a way
Mhm.
to, um, compassion and gratitude are great tools to keep in our pockets as far as getting ourselves out of that closed, judgmental, despairing, dark place, and to start, in a way, letting a little bit of the light in, that light of consciousness, because
Totally.
consciousness is everywhere. So, what am I grateful for? It kind of it's just a great gateway to go bloop. Okay, what's something else I'm grateful for? Bloop. What's something else I'm grateful for? Bloop. And
Right.
then you can retether yourself, reconnect with that pulsating life force and breathe into it, rather than keeping yourself shut off, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So that's a little tidbit. Let's check out some
Let's
folks
do
here.
this. Hi, everybody. Thank you
Hi,
for coming.
Victoria, gratitude, Brenda. I'm ready for Sacred Connection Day. I need this. Exactly, Brenda. We need it.
Mhm.
It's comforting to know that others are there. If we feel that no one's there, we feel. I think it's natural, Kurt. What do you think? Like when you feel alone and you feel disconnected from a primal tribal pack mentality, if you feel disconnected,
Mhm.
feel alone, if you look at just going back and just our DNA, like that's not sustainable to be alone. We need to be held within the pack. We need to be connected.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we see it within our animals. We see it within, you see it in nature. It's the connection is in a sense we're able to reflect our love off of one another. If we don't have connection, if we feel isolated and alone, it's so hard to like really see ourselves.
Yeah.
Of course we can see it in nature. Of course we can see it through prayer and connecting with God and whatever that means for everyone. But yet when we're around like-minded individuals, it's just really helpful. It really helps us to be seen, I would
Yeah.
say. you
Yeah,
know. So
absolutely. Renee Stirk, I appreciate the ability to connect in love and gratitude. Yes. I appreciate the ability to connect in gratitude. Like, way to go, Renee. Like, I'm grateful that I can experience gratitude.
totally.
Wonder Nanda, hi love. Monica, greetings from Germany. Yay.
Yes.
Hi, Monica. Um, let's see. Oh,
Brenda's feeling tender these days, says she can cry at the drop of a hat. Um,
yeah.
what did the stars say about this? We'd have to look at that, Brenda, but probably even deeper than I would say something's opening within you. Katie's always talking about the beauty of crying and the healing nature of crying. I cried last week in our episode, and it's the heart opening. It's the doorway into something that you genuinely feel and need to express. The heart wants, because we close ourselves off to be tough all the time, especially us Texans. Brenda, I'm sure you understand this. Growing up in Texas, it can be very harsh. It can be a very like cold environment, and so I think it's beautiful that you're letting yourself cry. And it's intense out there, but just keep it going. Sage says loneliness breaks people's hearts. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very,
Kurt, I
very
want to I
true.
want to mention just to add on to what you were just saying to Brenda and to all of us.
Hmm.
I was just saying there's ways that we can open that portal to open the heart portal, so that we can reconnect. And if we are experiencing grief, pain, and we're afraid to experience that because we've been taught, avoid discomfort, distract yourself, stay busy,
Right.
we're not resourced to experience grief or to feel the deeper feelings. So we've learned to protect ourselves by dissociating and not feeling our feelings, because essentially we're afraid. And so fear is keeping that closed. It's keeping our hearts closed. But what's really happening within us is grief. So there's pain inside, but we're
Hmm.
disconnected from the pain because we're trying our very best not to feel it. but it's still happening, and it's just permeating into our lives. So opening up by crying, what that does is it's giving yourself permission to let that pain move out. Otherwise, it's just getting blocked up and stuffed inside. And so it's giving yourself permission to cry is really releasing that pent up energy of pain. And it needs to be released. A lot of
Yeah.
us don't know the weight of what we're carrying. It can affect us with physical ailments. It can affect us with, you know, seeing ourselves as having mental illness or being aggressive or anxious. A lot of us deal with anxiety, and a lot of that is unwept grief. It's
Yeah.
pain that's getting blocked because this channel's closed. So again, we're learning right now, gratitude is a way, compassion is a way, and crying is a way.
Hmm.
Giving yourself permission to say, I hear you that you're hurting. You're safe here. Go ahead and you can open up in the presence of yourself and oof, let it move through. You
Yeah.
know, let it flow. Um,
Wonder says she's recovering from alcohol abuse, and good
yes.
job. Keep going.
Oh man, Nanda, that is
Yeah.
I
Katie and I have been talking about, and we work with people often who are working with addictions, various addictions of sort, and it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things, I think. Yet when you persevere through that, the strength and the true connection, I'd say, that comes through that is immense. And so more power to you.
you know what, even just to say, like, just to acknowledge, like, yeah, right on.
Mhm.
Recovering from alcohol abuse, even to type this into the chat.
Yeah.
This shows how far you've come in your healing, that you're not hiding, you're not secretive, you're not prioritizing the safety of the addiction over the safety of your well-being. You're saying recovering from alcohol abuse.
Right.
You're saying it out. That is the light of consciousness, that transformative light infused with your confidence enough to say that.
Mhm.
That is proof of your healing. That is
Totally.
that is so
Totally.
powerful to say that.
And continuing on with that, she continues in another comment here of, I summon the courage to go. So let me show it here. Sorry. I summoned the courage to go with the first episode of my podcast on surviving suicide in the family, which is powerful and brave. You guys are one of the pieces of inspiration. Thank you, to put myself out there and show up fully and
Right
honestly. And I'm
on.
so grateful to hear that. And thank you for sharing that, because that's what it's all about. That's what we were touching on when we act more authentically and real, we give others permission to do the same. And then that's sharing the light. That's passing the torch, right? You have your candle, the light gets shared to another candle. You share that light to another candle. You, by showing up, have now given others permission to do the same. So
Yes,
thank you.
100%. And Kurt,
Well
to add
done.
on to that, the love by you, let's use Kurt as an example. Kurt initiating the Sacred Sunday, saying, I want to have a real conversation. I
Mhm.
want to be myself. I want to encourage others to be themselves. I want to have an authentic conversation. The courage that you give yourself, let's say last week when you allowed yourself to cry on air, you had to open up to this place of vulnerability. You had to really open yourself. You let those tears come out. And then what we all received in the presence of you being honest is really concentrated, potent connection. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? Like the more you allow yourself to open and be honest, let's say this is honesty, this is dishonesty, the more you give yourself permission to be honest, those around you are going to they're going to be blessed by such authentic, pure life force energy because it's
Totally.
coming through each of us. And then we're encouraging one another to open. Hey, you're safe here. Go ahead and be yourself. You're safe. Open, open.
Mhm.
Now we're all opening. And now when we step out of this hour together, the level of connection that we've experienced is so much greater than if we were to show up and have closed hearts and be protective and not being honest and
Yeah.
saying, keeping everything superficial outside of that portal. Now we've opened and we've started to experience real connection.
Right.
You can feel the difference. That's what
Yeah.
honesty does for one another.
Totally.
Um, Renee says, remembering our multidimensional nature is important to feeling constantly connected energetically, also. Right on. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
And to me, what Renee, when I hear multidimensional nature, for me, that's talking about the four different bodies: our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body. Those are the different. We're like walking in these four dimensions of life, And so, by feeding all of those and nurturing all of those, we definitely stay more connected.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
My
Um,
mom, my
yeah.
mom,
Can you highlight your mom's comment here?
boom, my mom, Maddie McMillan. Hi, mom. My 95-year-old mother, my grandmother, would
Hey,
not
mom.
be here. That's me, mom, without my brother and family near her. And I'm
Um,
sure you're very grateful for that, mom, as am I,
Yeah,
because now Mima's not alone. She has family out there, and we're not always able to get to her. Yet Sheldon is there. I'm very grateful for Sheldon, who is my mom's brother, because he's living the truth. He's there. He's like taking care of her, and it's a sacrifice in a way, and I'm so grateful that he's there.
me
So
too.
thanks,
That's
thanks for sharing that, mom.
just to speak to anyone else who's caregiving. I mean, Kurt and I did 9 years of caring for my mother with
Mhm.
dementia, and you think I've been changing her diapers the last 4 or 5 years and feeding her. Sometimes we have to bring, I would say, what, the last 4 years, bringing the food to her mouth sometimes
Mhm.
'cause she doesn't know how to eat. She does, and she gets partway there, but imagine, just how much we need one another in those moments when our physical health is so compromised.
Yeah,
We absolutely, it's like being an infant. Look at us as newborns, like we absolutely need one another. We need to be held. We need warmth. We need milk. We need connection, or else we
yeah,
die. That's a way to remember the depths of how much connection is a need.
yeah.
Mm,
Monica says, "My greatest gratitude is to be able to love and forgive." Yeah, forgiveness. What's your saying, Katie? Forgive it back?
yeah, forgive it back.
I love that.
Forgive it back because, like,
Mhm.
if you're holding on to something, like, you're gonna hold on to something behind that closed wall, that cage, you're just gonna be
Mhm.
holding on to something inside, and what is it? It's pain. Okay, so if you're not gonna forgive, who's holding on to the pain? You are.
Right,
And then we just talked about what happens if you hold on to pain and don't let it go. You deal with anxiety, you deal with depression. Think about what is depression. It's being pressed down,
right.
what is y you gotta let it go, you've gotta open up, and gratitude, compassion, figure out ways to wiggle that opening and forgive it back. Forgive it back to the all, to the infinite cycle of wounding and our own participation in that. You don't need to hold on to that. And that is an ability, Monica. Your greatest gratitude is to be able to love and forgive. And I would say you've got that right on. You know how valuable and important and maybe well earned those gifts are that you have. I
Beautiful.
imagine you've worked hard to obtain the ability to forgive.
Mm.
Um, let's see here. What does Kiki? Kiki in Arizona says,
Hello, Kiki. During my morning gratitude connecting to spirit, I have found my fight or flight sensation tapping in. I'm learning how to name it. I'm learning how to address the fear, one less bell to answer, which is good. To me, that says you are authentically looking at yourself and facing the fears that are coming up, and being able to name it. And then perhaps that's a time to what Monica was just talking about, to love it, forgive, and give it back. Let go of it in a way is what comes to mind. Those fears. Fear. We talked about fear last week a lot, and anxiety, and just how crippling it can be. It's real stuff. And so I think naming it and finding, I do that by writing, just writing and writing and writing. That helps me. I'm like, oh, when I write that, I can name it, and then I'm able to like heal it and move it along. So that's wonderful.
yeah, and Kiki, I just want to say as well, like, thanks for also talking about that cortisol that gets released. Sometimes, for many of us, we've dealt with trauma when we were quiet and still, maybe as children, maybe we were in an abusive relationship with someone else, maybe we're abusive to ourselves. And so when it's quiet time, there's self judgment and criticism that comes in. Whatever it is, for many of us, we've learned to keep going, to not stop, to stay busy because we don't want to be present enough to be vulnerable where we can potentially get hurt.
Right.
So I imagine in your morning gratitude, connecting to spirit, one could describe that as prayer or meditation. And many of us have that fight or flight sensation that okay, I got to keep moving. What else? Am I going to go to the store today? I should think of what am I going to grab from, okay, nope, stay focused, gratitude, gratitude. Okay, come back to love, because fear starts setting in, and fear is there to say, I'm not safe. Keep moving, run. No, you're safe now,
Right.
teaching yourself, I'm safe, to be present. And then really that's the work, and that gratitude awareness of just, whoa, stay in the love space. Don't need to be afraid right now. You're safe. Come back to love.
Beautiful. I'm going to move into a different section right now, Katie, if that's all right. We'll come back to
Please.
some more comments.
Oh yeah,
So speaking of gratitude, I want to share something with you all. Yesterday, I received a package from a gentleman that I met, Dustin Byer. He's amazing. He and I had the honor of doing a podcast together with our friend Emmanuel, who's starting basically he's starting a podcast that getting people together that are working on raising consciousness, shifting consciousness. And I met Dustin through that. And he sent me this incredible deck of cards that he created. And it's called, I'm just going to point to that. It's called the Mindset Shift, right? These are mental health oracle cards, and they're amazing. So here they are right here. And these aren't your like run of the mill cards that are just like printed somewhere in the world. He screen prints each one of these cards. He designed it, screen printed it, created what each one of these means. And I'm going to share it real quick.
Yeah, like, so as you're doing that, I'll just say that screen printing, by hand, he's taking the paint and actually creating the image and then rolling the paint onto it.
Exactly.
I was wondering, I hadn't seen how much he's charging. $150 for the set.
So 150, which is
yesterday, and I was like, what? Actually, I was like, what's that smell, Kurt? That was my first question, was what's this?
Okay, so that is another thing that he creates, which I have a bottle right here.
And I think you still have the comment from Kiki up here. You can pull, it might be confusing.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Highlighted.
There's a lot going on here. I'm trying to keep track of everything, talking about Dustin here.
You have Dustin's website?
Yes. So Dustin's website I do have, which is attenray.com. So I'm just, I just want to let you guys know about this, because I'm going to read a card to give you an example of like how these work. Okay. So this is his website. You can go there, you can check out and see all of the different, graphics and everything. He hand makes the bags, he hand makes everything. He puts so much love and intention into what he's creating. And it's to help that mental body, to help people inspire gratitude and shift their minds, a shift in like how they're perceiving. And it's amazing. So for example, let's read this one. So this card here. All right. So I'm going to read what this card means. Katie's wondering right now, Kurt, do you need your glasses?
I actually hadn't had that thought, but now I am wondering if you have your glasses.
No, I'm good. So this one is called the Vulnerability Bridge. Okay. Which means embrace the transformative, liberating power of truth as you utilize this card to strengthen your connections with others. Interesting. We're doing this right now and talking about this. Cultivating a practice of vulnerability and authenticity by courageously sharing your innermost thoughts and feelings with a trusted individual. So already it's like tapping into what we're talking about. And then you can just choose any of these cards. So what I want to offer for you today is, if anybody would like me to pull a mindset shift card for them, I'd be happy to do that. It'd be fun just to play with these cards and to investigate what Dustin has created here. So I just wanted to add that to the mix here.
Kurt, will you also, again, I just lightly mentioned it was the smell that I was really curious about when you opened up that package from him. He also works with plants, and he made this blend, this beautiful spritzer blend, holy water.
This is holy water from Attenray. It's an etheric cleanser. Yeah, and let's see, it's water, essential oils, flower essences, and brandy. I believe it's like Matilla hot poppy, I think sage, various other things. And it's, and you use it to like just reset, to cleanse. And I just love what Dustin's creating. And he's on the front lines of making tools for us to expand our consciousness and continue down our path of authenticity and truth. And so
Yeah.
I just wanted to send, a shout out basically to Dustin, as well as I'm very grateful, to have this amazing set of cards. So you can go to his website if anybody's interested to like get their own set. Highly recommend it. And again, this is something new. This is something that's just now like coming into being in the world. So check
Mm.
it out. So yeah, I'll draw a card for you if you want.
You've got 5 folks who want their cards drawn. What should we say? Let's cap it at 5.
It's probably a good idea. So, all right,
Okay.
who's up first, Katie?
First, we've got Brenda. Brenda Thompson.
My Aunt Brenda.
Okay, let's pull a card from Brenda.
All right, Brenda, I am going to go into the mindset shift cards here without my glasses on. And I'm going to pull a card for Brenda in Houston, Texas. This is your card, Brenda.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Okay, so now let me find that. Give me a second, Katie. Maybe
We should have thought this
a
through.
little
Do
bit.
you want me to come and get the little booklet and then you hold the card up and I read the booklet?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay, I'm going to go over to your office. Okay, entertain everybody while I go to your office.
Okay, I think I got it. All right, Brenda, once again, this is your card, and it is called the Book of Dreams. Okay. So the Book of Dreams says, unlock the hidden chapters of your subconscious. Immerse yourself in the tapestry of emotions woven within your dreams, revealing profound insights that give your path to self-discovery, healing, and the fulfillment of your innermost desires. Let the Book of Dreams be your sacred companion, unveiling the secrets of your subconscious and awakening a deeper connection within yourself. Brenda, the Book of Dreams. Pretty cool. So I hope that resonates with you. And I'm not going to lie, it's true. I might have to bust my reading glasses out here. I'm not scared. I'm going to present put my truth.
Okay.
All right. So who's up next? Next?
Lisa Hodge. Okay, Lisa. Pulling a
Lisa
card.
Hodge. We're going to read a card for you. Katie's going to draw it.
All right.
Again,
Kurt,
this is the mindset shift.
XXX1.
What's that? 31? I think that's what it means.
Perfect.
I'm no Roman numeral expert, but here we go. The Transformation Butterfly. All right, the Transformation Butterfly. Embrace the beauty of change and trust in the transformative journey. Let this card serve as a reminder that stagnation is not the path to fulfillment. Instead, see change as a captivating and wondrous experience, allowing yourself to fully surrender to the process of transformation and the possibilities it brings. Beautiful. Lisa, you got the Transformation Butterfly.
Transformation Butterfly. Okay, who's next?
Sage.
Cote.
Hi, Sage.
All right, Sage. Feeling you, visualizing you, holding you. Okay. We have 23.
These cards are so cool, you guys. Please, if you can, support Dustin and purchase these cards. This is the Resilience Mountain, Sage. The Resilience Mountain. Here we go. Sage, overcome obstacles and rise above adversity. When faced with challenges, use this card to focus on your inner strength and resilience. See obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow, and use your past successes and experiences to help you overcome any difficulties that may arise. the resilience mountain. Hang in there, Sage. You've got the strength.
Okay.
Arcady, 2 more.
Yep, 2 more. We've got Victoria.
Victoria, hi, Victoria.
3, card 3.
All right, that's a cool looking card. It says, Victoria, for you, it's the clarity mirror. Reflect on your thoughts and emotions. Ask meaningful questions, noting patterns and limiting beliefs. Apply newfound understanding to decision making, problem solving, and actions. Revisit for ongoing guidance. Empower yourself to navigate real world challenges with clarity and wisdom. The clarity mirror. Step into the clarity, Victoria. See the truth in what you're facing.
All
Last
right.
one.
Wonderland, 33.
Ooh, that's a cool card. So again, these are all screen printed. These are all handmade. So good. 33.
And you're seeing a little bit of on these cards, some of them have a little bit of impression and pigment. I think that's because that bottle spilled a little bit in our.
I think it's like the artist's screen printing. It's like ink smudging on there. Like those cards have texture to them. I think. I'm not sure.
Maybe
Hopefully.
so. Some of them, I just see a little bit of what looks like it might have been moisture.
This is the observer. Step into the role of an impartial spectator and witness your own behavior without judgment or the need to change anything. Observe your actions from a third-person perspective. Take note of all the aspects you appreciate and those you desire to transform. This card encourages self-reflection and provides an opportunity for personal growth and self-awareness. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's all we can do right now. I mean,
yeah,
but super cool. I really enjoyed that, and I hope that helped you guys. Getting into the mindset shift card. So again, we have his website right here, atandray.com, and you can also get the herbal essences, the cards, and all sorts of other cool things that Dustin has there.
Kurt, we can make this call. Can we just make it brief? Can we just get Monica and Love? Can we just get their cards really quick because they've
yeah.
I don't want to leave them out.
We can't leave people out.
No. Okay. So for Love.
Love. One card for love.
Card 20.
Beautiful. Card 20 is the compassionate heart. Love, embrace the compassionate heart. Cultivate empathy and kindness. Witnessing suffering awakens the importance of compassion. Open your heart, listen, and extend kindness. Nurture empathy through reflection and acts of compassion. Experience transformation as compassion radiates, healing yourself and the world.
Beautiful.
Beautiful for sure.
All right. And one more from Monica. Yep, there's enough time, Monica. Let's just get your card. Here we go. You are number 4.
Beautiful. Man, I love these cards so much. Number 4. Oh, this is perfect. This is the gratitude attitude in total harmony with our session here. Embrace abundance and joy. Take a pause to acknowledge and appreciate the blessings in your life, finding gratitude in the present moment and allowing it to bring joy and contentment. Perfect card to finish off this section on. Beautiful.
Yay. That should be that's kind of our motto for today.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for playing along. What might be nice, Kurt, is to do that with other cards, to find other ways every once in a while to pull cards and to all be together doing that.
Yeah. And astrology too. I love dipping into astrology. So
yeah, exactly. Oh, well, it's something I just wanted to mention. I appreciate when folks open about the reality of how much they're really going through it. And I've been working with a friend, with someone, helping them get through some pretty hardcore addiction. And, it was explained to me last year, actually, while working with someone else um, who was recovering from a pretty severe alcohol addiction. And I was teamed together with a support person for this client. And he described a chair. And he said, we each sit on a chair. And he said, it's when we lose someone in our lives that we're held up with. It's as if we lose a leg of the chair, and we can hang, we can stay seated, but we just can't go in that direction or else we'll fall. If we lose two legs, we're okay, we've just got two legs left. If I can just stay pretty still, then I won't wobble that way or that way. I can keep myself together. It's much harder, but I think I can do it. And if we have very little connection and support in our lives, we're just balancing on one leg, and the chairs, we can't move. We're just frozen. And I think that's definitely for me, what's up for me a lot lately is just thinking of that when we're going through it. We know quite a few people right now who are going through it physically, who are hurting, whose bodies are holding on for life, whether it's mentally, emotionally, whether it's trying to recover from a hardcore addiction. Just the sincere power of holding one another, of being the legs for that chair, for one another to sit. I often think of a willow branch, and each of us are a branch, and we weave together to create a basket for someone to feel safe and nestled inside of. And sometimes just by showing up and being authentic and real, and even if you don't know what to say, even if you don't know how to support someone, but to let them know that they're not alone, just to be a branch in that basket, just through your presence, through your authenticity, we can hold one another. It helps create a stable, secure place to sit in life, a way to stay tethered and grounded and on our feet, and so as we speak of connection, it's not just conversation, it's not just showing up, I think all of us have a different understanding of what connection is, but it's everything. It's in all the ways we show up, in subtle and active ways, that we can be here for one another, because we never know what someone's really going through. And I have quite a few people in my mind and my heart right now who from the outside, you wouldn't know the depths of what they're going through. They might be going through withdrawal, they might be going through a crazy physical ailment or diagnosis, or have a disability, and they're just doing everything they can to be here now. And that's where that compassion and gratitude, but also the courage to be the connective force for one another, to not be afraid to step forward and be a part of the network that someone else needs as well. Yeah, it's definitely up for me right now. Just a lot of compassion and also awareness for how it's up to each of us to not just open up when we need support, but open up and be a supportive presence for others who need it. Yeah, everyone's fighting some kind of battle.
Katie, as you're talking, really, we have to be willing to cry. I'd say we have to be willing to open our hearts and feel that pain that others are going through. And oftentimes I think we don't want to, oftentimes I think it's too much. And so we try to shelter our hearts and shelter ourselves, when really I think we need to do the opposite. We need to not be afraid of that and go ahead and connect with someone and be grateful to be able to connect with someone, because I think they really appreciate that and need that. And sure, you might not want to, you might not know what to say. You might not know, and then you can write off, be like, oh, I don't know what to say, so it doesn't really matter. But I think that's a safety mechanism, and like fear coming in.
Yeah. That's not love. That's fear.
No, yeah, when really you want to show up and you want to be there. One thing that always comes to my mind is like we don't want to be on our deathbeds one day and be like, man, I didn't show up fully, and especially probably at that moment when you can't deny the truth at that point, and so it's best we just get into the practice, and it is a practice. I'm sure we've practiced so long protecting our hearts, we've practiced so long building that shell, and so now we need to practice cracking it open and being there for people.
Yeah,
I've had to learn it. It's effort, and Katie's a heroic caregivers. It's more effortless for some. I would say, that shows up in the astrological chart too. We've all been dealt different cards, but it doesn't mean we can't shift. I think that's what Dustin's up to with his cards. We're helping people mindset shift, and then you see yourself come up with into an obstacle, and then you move beyond it. With bravery, and not act out of that tendency of fear. Okay, that's it.
no, it's so good. Everything you're saying. You said crack the shell, and
Yeah.
it's something that I've some terminology I've learned over the years is unfurl.
Right.
Because it is sometimes we do need to be cracked. Like when I was so hardcore deep in my suffering and addiction, and someone had just shared when those suicidal ideation sweeps in, and it's like you can go to some pretty dark places, and I definitely have. And I needed to get cracked. I needed to have a really profound traumatic experience, being in the ER, and you and I did some really powerful medicine ceremonies that just really cracked me open. And it's almost like cracking so that the light can come in,
Totally.
cracking that shell, that callous material that's protecting our hearts. But a visual, and actually, Kurt, if we've got time, it would be so nice to conclude with a guided meditation today.
Of course we do. Of course.
Is unfurling, and if unfurl is just so like, ugh,
like a
it's this
fern. Yeah, this
like a
release.
fern, like you think of that just like unfurling, and it's gradual and it doesn't happen instantly. Like sometimes we're expecting instant results, like I need to be open now, I need to be forgiving now, I need to be healed now. It's more like just this gentle, gradual, natural breath that just gently opens, and it's like a unfurl. We can gently unfurl into change if we are living in a state of fear and protection, and we've isolated ourselves, or we feel isolated and disconnected, to just gently open.
Yeah.
And offer yourself that patience and time to get there.
Yeah, and trust that.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to just mention what Sheila said here. Oh, some really beautiful words here from all of you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Do you want to highlight Sheila?
Sheila, I've cared for people. Yes, I've cared for people for years, hospice, dementia care, but find it hard to let other people when I need help. This all resonates so much. Interesting, right?
I want to hover.
Self-care.
That is exactly it. How many people, you don't have to respond, or you can join the chat and say, oh yeah, receiving is really hard for me. I'm really good at playing the hero. Some of us victimize when we're suffering. Others, we identify as the hero, and it's much easier for us to give rather than receive.
Right.
But that's not true love. If it's only going one way, we're not letting that love come in, and we're still going to be suffocating, and we're still going to be closing ourselves off from the potential of experiencing that life force, consciousness, and love that we need in order to survive. So Sheila, I would say for you, and I'm talking right to you, sister, because I am one that can deeply resonate. I've had to learn how to receive support. That is so hard, but I think what we have to do in those moments, Sheila, we have to see that gentle, hurting, innocent, precious creature within ourselves who is just as equally as important as everyone else. And if we don't love ourselves, feel compassion, and receive love, yes, from others, but you begin with yourself, saying, being a good listener, leaning in. It is so hard. But what I would suggest after, again, 9 years of being a caregiver, and we're talking like Kurt and I we lived with my mom. It was my sister and my brother-in-law, but like we did it all together, but full on caregiving for many years.
Mm.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to not also receive and take care of yourself, because then you're not sustained. And then you, as this amazing resource to help the planet and bring love and care, is going to die young. You're just going to shrivel
Right.
up and wilt. And like, we don't have you as a valuable resource because it's used up. So it's not, if there's a part of you that feels selfish for caring for yourself, recognize that you are a resource. You yourself are an embodied resource to help in the healing of the world around you. So in allowing yourself to receive the care and nourishment and attention and time and go book a massage and eat a nourishing meal and take a day off and let yourself sleep in, what you're doing is you're actually strengthening this very valuable resource to keep providing to the world around
Right.
you. Doesn't mean to stop being who you are because you're a natural caregiver. It means we need you, and we need you to take care of you so that you can keep showing up and sharing love with the rest of us. So
Yeah.
do it for you, do it for us. Take care of you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah.
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 Sheila says she's having a healthy cry with those
Good.
words. So
Cry.
thank you. Thank you, Sheila. That's
I
beautiful.
feel myself too, like I'm on the verge about to cry right now. Oh, Kurt, what are you feeling for? Got like 10 minutes left.
Let's do a meditation. Let's connect with one another and through a guided meditation. Katie, would you lead that for us?
Sure. Do you want to? I mean, it'd be kind of neat to try to do it together. I don't know if there's a time delay, if that would be possible. Want to try it? We've never done that
We
before.
can try it for sure.
Okay. I'd like to. My favorite meditation is to go into that heart space. To go into that place of trust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can hear Dove. Oh, it's actually Crowley's drinking water right now. It's pretty loud here.
It's okay.
You should be done drinking
Crowley's,
in a minute.
a dog drinking water is perfect for a guided meditation.
Okay, perfect.
Space.
So let's do a meditation together. I don't know how many of us are on this call right now, but there are a lot of us. And regardless of how many, let's go ahead and allow ourselves to get comfortable as you can. For many of us, we don't feel comfortable in life. We don't feel comfortable in our bodies. We don't feel comfortable in our relationships. We don't feel comfortable in our careers. But being comfortable is something you deserve. And sometimes it's a matter of giving ourselves permission to be comfortable.
It's enough water, quote. That's enough water.
Enough, everybody. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to allow ourselves to begin with our physical bodies, letting our physical bodies be comfortable in the place where we're sitting. Know that you're safe here. Yes, you may be alone in a room. You may not have the physical presence of others, but you are not alone. We are all in this beautiful sacred circle, all of us tuned in, all of us who have been brought here to this connective field, to this meeting point, through intention, through our presence. And if you're able, you can close your eyes if you feel safe enough to close your eyes. And bring your awareness to the stillness of where you're sitting. So often our thoughts can feel like movement. It feels like activity, and sometimes that feels anxious. But let's bring our awareness back to the stillness of where we are sitting. The chair is not moving. If you're in your bed, it's not moving. It's solid and still. And you are being held in that space of stillness. In fact, the chair you're sitting in was designed for you to be held. The bed was designed for you to relax wherever you are. You are in a place that was designed for you to experience rest and stillness. Just bring your awareness there and allow yourself to patiently join that frequency of stillness. As if those bouncing cells and molecules of your being are now becoming aware of the stillness. As if there is a lot of talking happening within you, but now, shh. Now is the time to be quiet, to stop and be still. And Kurt, if you want to take us into a place, you're welcome to.
And as you feel that stillness in your body and all your cells resting in that centered space, move now into your emotional body. Feel the stillness now. Calm your emotions. Calm any anxieties in the heart. Any area within your feelings that might be pulling you out of presence and stillness. Feel that same sense of healing, stillness, and peace connecting you to your physical body as well as to your emotional body here and now. And just breathe into the heart space, expand your lungs. And as you breathe out, release any tensions, anything standing in the way and blocking you from true connection to yourself and true connection to all of us and those around you.
And with your hand, if you have a hand available, whatever hand feels comfortable, maybe both hands, bring them to your heart space, one or both hands to your heart space. And bring your awareness to the warmth of your hands. There is life force moving throughout your body, consciousness, life. And it's moving and circulating through your nervous system, through the veins. Life is pulsating through your being. And spiritually, life is pulsating through your being. You are an orb of life force energy and consciousness and love. And while you may forget at times, bring your awareness to the warmth of your hands and recognize that those are your hands. Those loving, caring, compassionate, wise hands that belong to someone who has experienced so many life experiences, so much struggle and pain and courage and strength, dedication, perseverance. Everything you have been through to get to this moment in time, sitting here with your hands upon your heart, you have been through so much to get here. And what you carry with you is wisdom and courage and presence and truth and love. And that can be felt by feeling the warmth of your hands, being reminded, I am here. I am showing up. I am listening. I am caring. I am tuned in to myself. And while for much of my life I may have protected myself or built a wall to separate me from my heart, I don't need that anymore. I am strong enough to be in love and to trust the wisdom within myself to be here, to hold me, to be here to guide me. And welcome another breath, a full breath, filling your lungs to full capacity. Really fill your lungs. And exhale all the way. Let it all out. Allowing yourself to become even more comfortable in your chair. And know that your hands are still there. That you are not going anywhere. Your own awareness and consciousness and love and compassion is here, facing inward. That as much as you have felt abandoned or separated from self throughout your life, you are connected. You are here in this moment, united with self, with presence, with care. And feel that connection, feel that presence of self. And allow yourself to feel gratitude.
And as you feel that gratitude and you feel that connection with yourself, and you feel that radiate out to our community here, to each one of us in this call, and to everyone who will tune in afterwards, and to everyone in your community and out. You feel yourself imprint what we've talked about here today. You feel it in your heart, you feel it in your body, you feel it in your mind, and now in your spirit. And as we close this circle together, you walk from this place that much more fulfilled in gratitude and connection, and that much more able to share that with anyone that you come across, anyone that you interact with today and in the weeks to come.
And now gently allow your hands to lift off of your heart and come together in prayer position. This position is symbolic of you meeting yourself. Of one hand symbolizing the past and one symbolizing the future, and you being centered right here in presence between both. Those hands of wisdom, truth, knowledge, awareness, compassion. Allowing that connection to happen within you, and allowing yourself to be in a state of love, trust, safety, and gratitude. And when you're ready and you feel comfortable, open your hands up. Oh, and stretch them open. Oh, sometimes I like to stretch right here. Lift your arms. Move your body. Unfurl your arms out. Let yourself open and breathe and open up that energy. This is freedom, to not be afraid. And you are free. You are empowered. And you're ready to start the day.
Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Beautiful.
Thank you, Kurt. That was beautiful.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And I love it. I love the Sacred Sundays that we've begun here together. So thank you.
Yeah.
Again, if I wanted to share again Dustin's website here, please go get yourself a set of those cards, and we can work with them together here. If there's more, if you want to learn of what Katie's up to, here's her website. She's doing amazing stuff. And of course, This is me here at themusicandthestars.com, exploring all sorts of astrological and tarot and mystical things in my world.
Kurt, real quick, do you have any room left in your course, or is it too late to sign
No,
up?
it's not too late. The deadline's tomorrow. If anybody wants to join that astrology course, please. The deadline is tomorrow because we have our first meeting together. And then at that point, we'll have to wait until later down the line. But please join the course. It's going to be profound. I'm excited, actually, to see where it goes.
Awesome. Yeah, he's leading a 12-week introduction, fundamentals of astrology course. Oh,
Right.
look. There you
It says
go.
beginning September 21st, which is past. But again, I pushed the deadline because now tomorrow is truly the time where I must do the cutoff, in respect to everyone who has signed up already.
How many people do you have signed up?
I don't know the exact amount. I think there are about 14 of us right now,
Oh,
something
cool.
like that.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so join us, everyone. Let's go.
I might go too, you guys. I'm feeling some FOMO. Like
Come on, Katie.
so many of my close friends are attending this course, and they're going to all be talking astrology, and I'm going to be in the dark. So I think I might have to join it too.
All right, everybody.
Okay, love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Love
And
you guys.
we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, see you next time.